Today we're going to talk about a basic cap wig from Rene of Paris that I think has its challenges. It's not a bad wig, but you should be aware of some things before you decide if it's for you or not. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook, and you've seen videos where I rave. I can't get over myself when it comes to some styles, and I almost can't be objective. And then there are wigs that I struggle to be favorable about. And here's the dilemma as a wig reviewer. I always want to keep in mind that a lot of what I share and what we all share on the wig journey is opinion, very subjective. There isn't a lot of an objective fact. And I think we have to be aware of that. Just because I think something isn't great or I don't like something doesn't mean somebody else won't. And if there's one thing I've learned in the almost 8 years I've been doing this, there is a head for every wig. And there have been wigs I've reviewed that I've truly questioned if anybody would like that wig. And inevitably I get comments on my video that says, I am so glad you reviewed this wig. This has been my daily driver for a year. It's my favorite wig. I hope they never discontinue it. And I've learned to really with some things. And so I want to give you honest information and be real, because I'm a wig wearer first. I really am. This was not intentional. Having a YouTube channel, making videos, working with companies was never the plan for me. And so I don't take that lightly, and your trust is everything. But I also don't want to bash a wig just because my opinion isn't favorable. So in this video, my goal with this wig is to give you information and help you make a good decision whether to purchase or not to purchase. I think wigs like this have inherent challenges, and we're going to talk about those, but I also think they have benefits, and it's up to you to determine what is best for you. So with that caveat, we're going to talk all about Laine, but I'd like to tell you about 噚first. They're an online retailer that also has some in-person wig shops. They have online stores in the US, Canada, and the UK. You might wonder why they have to have those, because it's an online everywhere, but it impacts shipping and fees and things like that. And so you can shop with them from anywhere in the world, and it's really beautiful because it does save you money. And I know in the UK, sometimes my friends in the UK struggle to get some of the wigs that we can get here in the US. So it's great that ዄ now has a UK site, because I think it does open up the wig world quite a bit to those who maybe didn't have access to a lot of things. They also have some in-person wig shops in Canada and the US, and they're wonderful. They have live sales every week. They have lots of coupons and open box clearance. Amanda is phenomenal, and she has some great videos over on the 𝗏 channel, so definitely go check them out. I am honored to be a reviewer for them and to partner with them, and I think it's mutual. I think they've done so much for me, and I hope I've done a lot for them, and I hope in turn I do a lot for you, because you get a lot of good information. So check them out next time you're in the market for a wig. Let's take a look at this one from all sides before I start telling you my thoughts. Laine is made with regular synthetic fibers, and I know a lot of you, or some of you I should say, prefer that. So not heat friendly, regular synthetic. Here's where I think things become challenging. Laine has a basic cap, meaning no lace front, no monofilament. On a wig like this that doesn't have any fringe and no bang, it is very challenging for that to look realistic without a lace front. I personally think you need some sort of a fringe or a bang. And because this wig has a tremendous amount of Permatease, a lot, like right here. There isn't even any here. It's like a big poof of Permatease right here. It makes it lay funny. The fibers want to separate. It's hard to keep them all going in the same direction. You can kind of see that hard front right there. It doesn't blend very well, and you can actually see a little bit of the Permatease right there too. This isn't the best representation, in my opinion, of a basic cap. Could it be different on a different piece? Absolutely. There is so much variability in these wigs that one piece to another could look very different. It could lay different. The Permatease might not have been brought so far to the front on another piece. I've only seen this one, so I can't speak to it. But what I can do is help you start thinking through some of the things that can be challenges with wigs, so you can determine if you think they'll be a challenge for you. If you cut bangs into every wig you wear, this is probably not going to matter. Just cut a bang into it and that problem has been solved. This is a relatively affordable wig. You can get it for just slightly over $100 if with my coupon code. And so maybe a little wig surgery is all you need to do to make this wig work for you. But if you are looking for a wig that you can wear out of the box with no intervention, this might not be what I would recommend as a first choice. This is inside the cap. Very, very, very basic, bare bones, machine made, lots and lots of, I'm going to say it again, lots of Permatease here. We do have a lot of hair sewn in on these ear tabs, so you're going to get a lot of hair coverage on the sides. We don't have an extended nape on this one, and we've got bra strap adjusters, and then the rest is open wefted. You know, another thing to keep in mind, on a basic cap wig that is a lot of Permatease, sometimes you can see the visible Permatease wherever you choose to part it. The benefit of having a basic cap wig like this is you can part it anywhere you want to part it. The drawback is it doesn't have any cap features to make that part look natural. This is very Elvira-ish in my opinion. So the Permatease, the crimpy I can feel them right here. I don't think you can see them great on this piece. Nobody's going to look that close to you anyway. But where that becomes a challenge is on light colors, non-rooted light colors. You run the risk of very much being able to see visible Permatease, like a little rat's nesty in there. I have shown wigs like that in the past, and I've warned, if you're going to wear light colors, I would strongly encourage you to think about a wig with at least a monopart, or maybe a curly piece where you really can't see down to cap because there's, you know, curl that's giving a lot of lift on the top. But a really straight piece like this, I really think you're going to be able to see that visible Permatease on a lighter color. A solution to that is a headband. You know, headbands, they forgive a lot of wig issues. They help with a lot of wig challenges. It's not going to look perfect with this one because the style just doesn't lend itself very well to a headband. But what happens, and then you can kind of tuck it, what happens is that takes the eye away from where you can see the visible Permatease. So it is a potential solution. You know, this wig may not be for you, but you may run into some of these things with a different style. And it's one reason why I think there's value in watching videos, even on wigs that aren't your style. I try to teach in every video. I'm not here to just, or at all to sell you a wig. If you buy, that's great. I want you to learn, and you can take some of the knowledge from one style and extrapolate it to another style, and it will help you make a better decision. So what I'm telling you about this wig could happen with a different wig, and if you've never heard it before, you might be caught off guard and surprised. This cap is fitting a little small around the circumference. I do find Rene of Paris caps to do that. I get a lot of extra cap in the crown. This is really big on me up here, but it's not very big on me around my circumference. So I would say it's running a little smaller than average around the circumference, and maybe even a little larger than average over the top. Overall, she is what she is. This is how the piece that I have looks. Might another piece look different? It could. But I do think this is going to be a challenge for some. I think the Permatease application on this one is a little bit uneven, and it makes it look a little odd. It's so poofy right here, but then it just goes like this. I would have wished, if they're going to use this much Permatease on the top, that they just applied it everywhere so that you got more of an even roundness to it, because it just doesn't have that. Best I can do with this one And hopefully you learned something and you can use that knowledge for good. Let's talk about this color, because you might just be here to get some details on this color, because I know personally I'll watch every review I can find in a color, even if the wig isn't what I'm interested in. But we're looking at Expresso with an X, and this is a blend of jet black and black. This is as black as you can get, I think. Very, very black. It's that kind of cool black, so it's quite a harsh color overall. There's no real warmth in this color. There's no softness. You know, they didn't blend it with a brown, which can soften black. So I think that's also contributing to the Elvira feel about it. So that's what I think of when I see this color, Elvira. I don't know what more to say. If you're looking for black is black, this is the color for you. Let's get outside so you can see it outside. It's not going to look much different, but it can help. Thanks for watching. Don't forget about 𝖊. They have great wigs and tons of them. I'll see you soon. Here's Expresso. Very dark. As dark as you can get and not be black. But it's not black. It's a very, very dark, rich brown. Doesn't have the harshness that black can have. It does have a tiny little bit of warmth. Very tiny. No visible highlights. Not dimensional. There you go. Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.